Welcome back to the FNS Development Training Series. In our last video, we created your first FNS project and launched the development environment. Now that your workspace is ready, let's take a closer look at how an FNS package is structured and explore what each folder and file does within your project. By the end of this video, you will understand the overall structure of an FNS package, know the purpose of each main folder and configuration file, and learn how the backend and frontend connect through the FNS. Before we dive into each folder, let's start with an overview of what makes up an FNS package. This is our recommended best practice for structuring your code since it helps keep your backend, front-end, and configuration files organized and easy to manage. That said, you have the freedom to structure or extend your project however you prefer. The FNS SDK and ProCaaSo framework are flexible and support different coding styles. There are 5 main directories within an FNS package: VS Code, Logs, Migrations, Tasks, and Views. The VS Code folder contains your debug configuration for local testing in VS Code. The Logs folder contains all of your real-time log streams from your app. The Migrations folder contains all the SQL scripts that manage your database schema. The Task folder contains the backend logic of your FNS. The Views folder, which contains the front-end logic of your app. And lastly, the pc2.json file, which is the configuration file that defines metadata about your FNS package. The VS Code folder stores configuration files that make local debugging in VS Code fast and consistent. It contains launch settings for running your backend directly from VS Code, and it lets you set breakpoints and step through your code as it runs. This folder helps you quickly test and troubleshoot your FNS backend. The Logs folder stores all of the logs streamed from your FNS. It displays real-time output from your running application, and it helps you monitor events, API calls, and connection messages to the ProCaaSo framework. It's essential for debugging issues and tracking your app's performance during development and deployment. The Migrations folder contains SQL scripts that define how your database schema changes over time. Each script pair includes an up file that applies changes, such as creating tables or adding columns, and a down file that reverts those changes if needed. The Task folder contains all the Python-based backend logic for your FNS, handling how it communicates with the ProCaaSo framework and processes data behind the scenes. It defines how your app reads, writes, and transforms data, manages API routes, and connects to the ProCaaSo framework via the FNS SDK. It stores and retrieves data in your local or cloud database. It handles event subscriptions to listen for live updates from connected systems within the environment. And it can include helper files for reusable functions, configuration, and dependency management. Together, these files form the backend engine of your FNS, responsible for powering your app's logic, reliability, and communication with the ProCaaSo ecosystem. The Views folder contains the front-end code for your FNS, the user interface your team or operators will interact with inside the ProCaaSo Anywhere UI. The front-end can be built with any modern web technology, such as React, TypeScript, Java, etc. Handles user interactions, displaying live or historical data from your backend. It connects to the backend endpoints and can be customized to match your workflow, design, or branding needs. Together with the Task folder, the Views folder brings your FNS to life, transforming backend logic into a clear, interactive user experience. The pc2.json file defines the metadata and configuration for your FNS package. It contains key details like the name, version, and description of your package, specifies where your Task and Views folders are located, defines the deployment configuration, ensuring ProCaaSo knows how to package and launch your FNS, tying together all components of your project for packaging and deployment. And that's the full overview of your FNS package structure. In our next video, we'll start getting hands-on with the migrations folder, writing and testing your first SQL scripts to create tables for your app. Thanks for following along, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.